Yeah, I'm Nicholas Morey, a developer advocate at Akuity. I'm responsible for developing our workshops and our training material and our open source academy that we do for our main course right now is an introduction to continuous delivery and GitOps using the open source Argo CD. Yeah, my preferred approach is I want to tell a story, and I want to tell a story that reflects what they're going to experience when they're in that role. So when I wrote the Introduction to Argo CD course, I was really focused on what are they going to have to do the most when they start with it? How do they deploy an application? How do they deal with changes in Git? And what does syncing that look like? I wanted to tell, when you're in this role, these are going to be your responsibilities, and give them hands-on experience doing those responsibilities before they're in that role. Part of it is that we just want more people to use the open source project and love it as much as we do, because we know that every day there's somebody that's going to be new to it. I remember when I was new to Argo CD and I kind of had that aha moment of whoa, I can just put it in Git and it's going to deploy everything into the cluster for me. So I want to give people that aha moment and just drive adoption for the open source. We're really community focused, in that I just want to help people use that project and get up to speed with it. I don't even really care if we end up selling the platform. I just want them to use and get experience with the project. That they want the next course.
They want the next
yeah. People have really loved that they dive into a real workshop environment, and with the Instruqt platform, we have all the challenges scripted out to say that we have these checks saying, okay, you've done all the correct things, and then we also get the testing to say that all of our steps still work even if we don't have to run it through ourselves. Thinking about cargo, that's the hardest part, is that we are introducing new concepts with that project. We're no longer thinking about taking a diff and moving it across environments. We're talking about getting a state, having an artifact for that state, and then moving that across different environments or different instances of our application. So I think we're going to need some hands-on training to really get people familiar with these concepts and have a lab environment where they can jump right into it and start playing with it without getting, the worst part is if a student goes to start your course and then doesn't have the prerequisite to actually be involved and participate.
Right.
It kills their experience from the beginning, right? They hit a hurdle and then they feel defeated if they can't keep up with the rest of the class. So to bring it back to Instruqt, that's one of my favorite parts, is that I no longer have to worry about people installing kind on their laptops before they get to my workshop, or oh, my corporate policy doesn't let me have Docker on my desktop, I have to use a remote machine or something. I like that everybody can just show up, we all have a common starting place, and we can focus on the learning, not the setup of the environment.
That's
right?
awesome.
Try to be concise while still telling a story. It's easy to ramble on for 20 or 30 minutes about what is GitOps, what's desired state, how does that all come together, but the facts don't sink into our brain as well as a story does. If you tell somebody I was an engineer and I was experiencing these pains and I really hated it, and now I do it this way and I feel all this relief and it's so much easier and I've removed all that toil from my life, that's going to stick with them a lot more than GitOps is desired state reconciled continuously by a controller, and
That's great.
So tell a story.